In what seems to have unsettled the heartbeat of some opposition political party leaders and some members of the opposition in Zambia, President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, was invited to the inauguration ceremony of Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan, who was re-elected as President of Tanzania. And at that inauguration ceremony, the President of the Republic of Zambia was given an opportunity to actually present a speech. And this is what the President said.
We know the value of peace, security, and stability. I want to appeal to the people of Tanzania, mainland, Zanzibar, Pemba, and others, that what you have enjoyed over years, decades, must be protected at all costs. At all costs. You cannot try the opposite. You cannot experiment the opposite. To have a breakdown in the rule of law and order. You don't have to look too far. Just look at countries that are afflicted by this menace. I call it a menace. And once you lose it, you probably never regain it properly. It will linger on and destabilizing children in school, destabilizing families, essentially taking away the time, the resources, and all the efforts meant for development. That's the quest I decided to place on the table today. And that all of us in this region, on our continent, must work day and night tirelessly to maintain peace, security, stability.
Now, between you and I, we all know that President Hakainde Hichilema also has a story to tell when it comes to losing of elections. Matter of fact, who can even tell that story better than a man who lost presidential elections 5 times? And so, his speech was never going to be complete, especially with the happenings in Tanzania before, during, and after elections, and how some people felt the president-elect did not deserve to win. Obviously, he's a better man to tell the story of how people can still unite and put their differences aside for the sake of the majority of the citizens in a country. And so, he had to tell his story.
Madam President, I want to indicate that our political party in Zambia was in opposition for 23 years. I led our party of those 23 years, 15 years. I lost many elections. I had the motivation to go in the streets when we felt that we did not get treated properly during elections. I was always the first one to say, no one goes in the streets. No one. Those who supported us genuinely complained, particularly 2 elections. That I took the responsibility and the leadership that I cannot send my men and women, citizens of Zambia, in the streets to damage property, to kill somebody.
And as expected, his attendance at this inauguration and also his speech was not supported by some of the presidential hopefuls in Zambia. Among them, former or current or on standby? Anyways, Honorable Mao Sampa posted, and I quote, "I dissociate myself from the congratulatory message on behalf of all Zambians. I'm not part of the referred to all. That is like congratulating her for the massacre of over 1,000 citizens, children, in cold blood." Where these statistics were gotten from, I also don't know. But he's not the only one. CF President Mr. Harry Kalaba also posted, "SADC declares the Tanzania elections a sham, but President, why embarrass us like this?" For some reason, President Harry Kalaba felt embarrassed by the speech that was given by the president, basing his argument on the report that was given by SADC. However, one of his staunch critics, lawyer Simon Mwilamlenga, decided to do the opposite. He appreciated the president for attending the inauguration ceremony. He posted, and I quote, "Sometimes leadership is about seeing beyond headlines and emotions. President Hakainde Hichilema's decision to attend the inauguration ceremony of Tanzania's president wasn't about politics. It was about economics, strategy, and protecting Zambia's long-term interests. Tanzania isn't just another neighbor. It's one of our most vital economic partners. Our economies are tightly connected through TAZARA, TAZAMA, and multiple trade routes that keep our imports and exports flowing smoothly. If Tanzania sneezes, Zambia catches a cold, any instability there would directly affect our jobs, fuel, transport, and trade balance. So when President HH showed up, it wasn't about endorsement, applause, or learning about Hamingarato. I think it was about safeguarding Zambia's economic lifeline. That's what smart diplomacy looks like. Engaging where it matters and keeping the nation's interests ahead of political noise. Ah. Ah. Simon. You said what position do you want to stand on? No. Lusaka Central or Mayor of Lusaka is not your type of position. You are presidential material. Because one would expect that your line of thought was going to be the line of thought for most presidential aspirants. But the opposite is the case. Now, if presidential aspirants did not see what you have seen, I'm now wondering what kind of leaders we as a country have as an alternative. We can't be doing politics as usual. We can't be a country that does not look at anything nice, anything good in a man that we trusted with a mantle to lead us. Whatever he does to you is negative. Whatever he does to you doesn't make sense. And yet you want to be president. I'm now thinking, what do you think was going to be the best option? You people that did not want him to go to Tanzania. What was going to be the best option? Obviously, considering all factors around, looking at how long we have shared these bilateral relations with Tanzania, the economic ties that we have with the country, and some of the projects that, we are working together as a country. What was the best option for the president to do? It's funny how some of our leaders pretend like what happened in Tanzania was very unusual. Yet, we have situations here where, despite some people dying prior to the 2021 elections, despite some people dying prior to the 2016 elections, we still had an inauguration ceremony. We still had presidents from different countries coming to attend the inauguration ceremony. Yet the opposition was crying that their people had died. When they shot during an election year, them it was not even during voting. Just campaigns, shot dead. There are so many that we can talk about. People who were beaten with pangas, people who were stoned, people who were just killed for being members of the opposition. And despite the cries of the opposition to say these elections were marred with political violence, the inauguration went on. And we are the presidents coming here. So just because some members, they are not even the majority of Tanzania, complained or cried foul of the elections, the president of Zambia was not supposed to go there. So even you, when you become president, and people complain that the elections were not free and fair, yet the results say the opposite, you wouldn't want your counterparts from other countries to come. That's how it must be done. You have no option to look at the better evil. You should just say, no, these elections were not fair, we are not coming. Very interesting to see the caliber of leaders that we have as an option. Very, very interesting. And I know those of you that do not even have points to counter-react to what I have raised and to what has been raised by Council Simon Mwira, the best you can do is simply say, you are a cadre. And you think, I'll cry and say, I've got me a cadre. We are past that level. There's a reason why it's never a gown. Sometimes we just look at the comments and say, no, this one is not on my level. I cannot debate with this one. Or you are funika majanki anzake ku down iserikali tizikambako vama intellectuals kumwamba. Otherwise, it's sad state of affairs. But thank you so much, Mr. President, for representing us as a country. We know it is not within your jurisdiction to ensure that the parties afflicted in Tanzania present their issues in an amicable way, but at least you've done your part by giving the correct information as indicated in the speech. We are grateful, and we hope that this spirit continues. You are not a perfect man. You have your own flaws, but where you do right, we shall appreciate you. And personally, I do appreciate you for the effort that you've made. Allow me to end my video by saying 1xBet does wonders. Yeah, if you do not have an account with 1xBet today, create one now. Use the promo code KENDUMBO and make a deposit of any amount to get a bonus of up to 300%. Try to place your bets on various 1x games and various soccer games. And yeah, maybe, just maybe, it can change your story.